Welcome back to my channel, Crafting with Nordy. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a 12 by 12 album using those full sheets of cardstock. Now, this is one where you get that full sheet that's not a continuous pattern. And so, you know, I never really know what to do with those, and I've probably only done one other thing with them. And so after I saw this one, I see so many of them that look so pretty that I don't want to crease and fold and, you know, do all this stuff too, because you lose that border detail and whatnot. And I really didn't want to lose that on this. So I thought, you know, what can I actually make with it? And I happen to have this 12 by 12 chipboard as well. So I thought it was perfect to just make a large album and just coil bind it all. And so there's no cutting with making this one. I mean, minimal cutting, if any, because these are all the same size, 12 by 12. So we're just pretty much hole punching and taping, and then we'll coil bind. And if there's any cutting, it's just some light trimming, and that's about it. So, I mean, it's pretty simple, and it just leaves a lot to, you know, to still be creative and add pictures and scrapbook and all that stuff. So we're also going to make a smaller one, and this one, there's no cutting either. I mean, the chipboard and the thick chipboard for the cover and the thin chipboard is all the same size, so we're doing the same thing. We're just hole punching and putting it together. And I'm not doing a lot of detail in here, just, you know, just a couple little things just to give you an idea of what you can do. But all in all, I mean, this video is going to be, you know, minimal cutting. You know, it's basically just going to show you how I just, you know, pretty much hole punch these and put them together, and just kind of talked about other little ideas that you can do with this. So let's get into it. Okay, so when you're taping the cover, you want to make sure that you're butting your tape up together so you don't have any gaps showing through, and your cover is going to be smooth and not lumpy. Okay, you can go and take off all the tape, and we're going to line up our holes and then just try to smooth it across as best we can. Now, I didn't take off all the tape just yet because I want to get those holes lined up a little bit better, just so I have a little bit of control too, so I don't accidentally stick to the cover here. So I'm going to try and line those up as best I can. And start with one corner. Make sure your holes are lined up. And just get it as close as to that edge as you can. Okay? So that's my start. Now I can kind of pull it back a little bit and start taking off some of that tape, just to help me get it across a little bit at a time. And you can cold laminate this too if you wanted to, so then it'll be wipeable. Okay, so what I'm going to do to bring those two pages together is, and to use the least amount of tape, I'm just going to tape the edges because this is really, it's about 1/4 inch tape. And so I just did 2 all the way around, and then just 1 like every 1.5 to 2 inches. So then I don't have to use like a ton of tape here. But this kit I have it comes with like inch wide tape also, which I already used up, but I'll leave the link in the description below. So if you've got wider tape, I would use that for this project. And what we're gonna do is just take the tape off of there and just tape these 2 pieces together, and that becomes our page. And this paper is that Precision cardstock from Park Lane. The solid core, it's really thick, so it's going to be real supportive for this paper, and it's going to help those pages be a little bit more sturdy. Okay, so when you put these 2 pieces together, just start on one side and try to line it up little by little. Okay. And then press it down, and then just go across little by little as well, just to make sure that you're staying lined up. And just keep looking at your edge. Just to make sure you're staying as lined up as possible. And sometimes the papers aren't the exact same size, so some of them you might have to trim a tad just to even them up. But I mean, they're really, really close. So these 2 aren't exactly the same size, because I know I got 2 edges that line up perfectly, but I can see that these are just off like by like a 1/16. So I'll just trim that little bit off if I need to. So then after that, once you got it the way that you want it, we're gonna go ahead and hole punch it. And I'm gonna make sure that I'm lining up with my original one. And then just go ahead and hole punch that. And this is really big because it's a 12 by 12 sheet. So you can see we're not getting these last few notches, and that's okay. We can always flip it over and then just do your best to line that up again with those squares as best that you can, and then just go in and finish hole punching that. Okay, so now that you got all that punched, you have this taped together and punched, your first page is done, so just go ahead and do that for the rest of the pages. Okay, so we have all of our pages already put together, already taped together, as you can see. And I use that Precision cardstock because it's thicker and it looks really nice, but I like it because it's thicker and it'll give that kind of break in the patterns. And I like that it's textured. I think it just looks really nice, but because it's so thick and sturdy, I like that for the pages because it's a little thicker than the regular cardstock, and so it adds that support and structure, I think, to the pages. And I really like that because they don't feel like flimsy anymore. They feel pretty thick, pretty sturdy. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and coil bind. And the coil that I have is it'll take up the majority, but there'll be about 4 little holes that I'll need to get another piece of coil to do that little piece, but it'll be fine. If you only have like remnant pieces of coil, just use them. Use them in there, it's not a big deal. Okay, so we'll still start coil binding next. Okay, so when we coil bind the big one, this is our cover, okay? This is our back cover. We're gonna flip that over, and it's gonna be in the front now, okay? And then we're gonna work backwards. And so then we're gonna put these on our coil next. So I'm gonna set that there. Now this is gonna take up my whole coil here, the entire thing. And I'm gonna need 4 from another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just so I have enough for the whole thing. I'll try and spread this out as best I can. And like I said, we're going to start working backwards now. Try not to skip any holes. Oops. And if you have like directional pattern, just try and pay attention to that to make sure you're putting it in the proper order and direction. Okay, so here's our cover. It's on there. Here's our back cover. Okay. Now those flat hooks are what went on these back hooks here, but now we're going to flip this whole thing over because we want these hooks on the top when we go to cinch. Okay. And we have the knob here turned to the size that we need for our coil. And there's a little magnet in here that kind of holds the coil in place. And then we pull the lever. It's closed our seam. Okay, so now we're on our back cover here. We can fold it down and it's going to cover that seam. It's going to hide the seam in there. So now you don't see it on the outside. So it's hidden in within that last page in the back cover. So, okay, so what we did here was we just hole punched our cardstock. Now this is that thicker medium weight cardstock, and I'll leave a link in the description below. I didn't think this thing could hole punch this because I could never get it to do it before, and it did it this time and it did it fine. And we went ahead and also hole punched our really thin cardstock, and all this will be in the description below, like I said. Okay, so next what we're gonna do is we're just gonna coil bind that. And you're gonna put your thin cardstock on first. And then your front and back cover are going to be together. And that will go on last. Okay, and those flatter end of that coil is what goes on the hooks. The thinner part of the hook is what goes through the holes. Okay, now we're gonna flip that over so those flat ends are on the top. And we're gonna go ahead and stick that in the hole punch. We're gonna cinch that. We're gonna set it to the size coil we're using. And then we're gonna go ahead and now it's closed. Okay, and so now we're gonna take our back cover, flip that over. Now we got our front cover showing, our back cover's over here, and our back cover is what hides the seam of that coil. Okay? Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you is, because these are round, the coils are round, everything kind of moves based on that curve. And so your papers will stick out a little bit on the end. So if that bothers you, you'll need to cut that off to where it's even, but if it doesn't bother you, you can go ahead and leave it. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off to where it's even with my front and back cover. Okay, so the paper pad that I'm using is the Park Lane Bees, and it had a page with all these little strips in it that you can cut out. And I think what I'm gonna do is I took one of those strips and I cut it down to size, I think this is 8.5, and I just scored it down the middle, and so I can fold it in half, and I just taped all the inside. And I think I'm just gonna use it for the edge of one of these. So I'll just like line it up. I'll probably line it up to the back. And just so that, you know, just to decorate the edge a little bit. Just get that in there. Okay. And just smooth that out. Got a little bit of tape on my edge. Okay. And it just does, like, gives you a cute little border or a little bit of an edge, and it thickens that edge up a little bit, so you won't be getting any like fraying or curling or anything like that. It just kind of helps strengthen that a little bit, and it looks really cute. It's just a simple way to decorate. So, something like that. Okay, so for this cardstock one, this is just the plain one. You can make them just like this, and you just have just the thin chipboard in the middle. Like I did 12 pages of that, and then I did the thick chipboard on the outside. You can have them just like this and keep them plain, and you can sell them like this if you plan on selling them, you know. Or even giving them as a gift plain, you know, then the other person can decorate it however they want. But we added a little bit of decorating in here on the pages, just something simple. I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece here on the front, and just to give you an idea, there's a lot you can do with these ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape that. Okay, so that looks really cute. You can leave it like that. I think this is cute for an event. If you're gonna have like a sign-in book, like a guest sign-in book, you can make this a photo album guest sign-in book. So then when they open it, you can have like a Polaroid camera there or something, and they could take a picture of themselves. They can put it on here, tape it on there, and then just write something, a note or something. So like if it was for like a graduation party or something like that, and you wanted to have a guest book, you can have it kind of like a yearbook guest book, I guess you can call it. And you can have the date on the front. You can even have it say yearbook, you know, whatever the year is. And do that very thing, you know, have everybody just take a picture of themselves with their Polaroid, put it on here, and then just write a little bit of something, you know, along with their photo. And I think that would be a really cute idea. And it can go this way, or you can have it flipping that way, whatever you want to do, but it leaves a lot of room to just really get really creative with it and have a lot of fun. It could just be a regular album, or you can just, you know, make it something like that for a special event. And I think that's a really cute idea. And I don't know, something in here, maybe stencil out the year, or just put something something cool, I don't know, something cute. There's lots of little things that come with the, you know, with these little paper pads and stuff like that. So you can always put something cute on the front, and, you know, something like that. And then everybody's, you know, along with their picture has kind words to say, you know what I mean? Something cute. So I left it this way just to, you know, because I haven't completely decided how I want to get in here and decorate all this. This is just a start, but, you know, it's just to give you an idea of something else that you can do that, you know, could be just for your own photo album, your own scrapbook photo album, or like I said, it can be like a little, you know, guest book photo album or something like that. I think it's really cute. And, you know, it's really simple to make. It's super easy. I mean, we didn't have to cut anything down other than this front piece of paper, but the book itself, all we had to do was gather however many pages we wanted, and then hole punch and coil bind, and it was done. And the rest is just whatever, however creative you want to get with paper and stickers and things like that, you know, pictures and whatnot. So super cute, super simple idea, and just lots that you can actually do with it. All right, so that's it for these two. I hope you guys really like this video. I didn't go too into any details or decorating or anything like that. I just simply wanted to show you, you know, how you can just make one of these albums, and, you know, just some ideas what you can use it for, and what you can do with it. I think they came out cute. I do like the little metal corner protectors on here. I think they just add a cute little touch, and they're useful. They're gonna be really nice. I think the really big one, this 12 by 12, came out pretty good. I like the idea of using these full sheets where they have a picture on them. They're not a continuous pattern. I really like them, but I never know what to do with them, and they're always so pretty. And this one, I didn't want to fold in any of the sides or anything like that, because I wouldn't have had a lot of room to do that, and I would have lost this detail in here, and I wanted to keep all that. So I was like, what can I do? Because I really like this page, this paper, and I had just a few of these 12 by 12 chipboards, and so I thought, well, maybe I'll make a really big album. And, you know, but I was like, I can't hole punch it, and, you know, it's too thick. But I went and I tried it again, and it ended up working. So after that, I was like, okay, I know I'm going to use this page. I wish I had a clear sheet of laminate to put over this one, but I didn't have anything big enough to cover that. Maybe if I get some, that's something I can do later, but I wish I had that to protect the front of this. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're going to keep it 12 by 12, you might want to get some kind of laminate to go over the front, over the top of it, just to protect it. But I think it's a good idea to use those full sheets. I don't know what they're actually called, but they're just, you know, the full photo sheet, the whole picture. It looks so cute. And, you know, you can always put those in a frame and put them on a wall or something like that, or whatnot. But I thought this was just another cool little idea to do with that. And it fit that cardstock, that chipboard that I had already. And so, you know, it limited all the cutting. I didn't have to cut anything. I just had to tape and coil bind, and that was it. And so I thought, well, that's pretty simple. And there's still a lot of room to get creative in here, to add a lot more to this. You know, these little books, these cardstock books, you know, they always have these little little card pieces that you can cut out and do little things with, and you know, just have fun with, and stuff like that. So there's still a lot of room to play around and add pictures and you know, just scrapbook in here all that you want. And you can even add something to the front to, you know, allow it to close or something like that. But I hope I gave you another little idea out there what to do with those sheets, because I literally never know what to do with sheets like this. And this is the very first thing I've ever done with those sheets. Well, actually, I made folders out of them before, because I wasn't really sure what to do with them. And so I think that an idea like this, I think something like this is a good idea. So I hope you go out and give it a try. And like I said, you can definitely kill a paper pad if you do it this way, because I mean, you're just gonna be tearing the paper out, hole punching it, and then taping it together. You know, like, you're not gonna have to cut anything. And if you can find that this thin chipboard in a 12 by 12, I think even better, you know, to use the chipboard and then go ahead and put your cardstock on each sheet. But this is just another way you can do that. You know, the pages don't feel weak. They're still really strong. They still feel pretty sturdy. So I think they're gonna hold up just fine. Yeah, I think it's gonna be cute. There's still a lot of room to, if you wanna like put your pictures in on this side and write something here on this side. Some of this cardstock, being that it's so light, you can just write on that if you want to as well. Maybe not the darker ones unless you have like a different type of pen to write on something that's really dark. But I think all in all, I think it was a cute idea. I think it came out pretty good. And like I said, I hope you go out there and make a couple of these. And you can even leave them plain. And, you know, just, you can sell these, you know, you can just make them and leave them plain and sell them like that. Or you could just go to town with them and, you know, just do whatever you want to do with it. They're simple, they're easy to make. If you're going to do them plain and not add any cardstock to it, and just, you know, coil bind the chipboards together like this, I mean, you can knock these out like that, no problem. And I think, you know, it's kind of cool, you know, just to get some plain ones and stuff. And, you know, you kind of leave it to people to get creative on their own and whatnot. And so there's just another idea out there for you. Everything I used in this video will be in the description below, including the coil binding machine, the coils, all that stuff. So I hope you like this video, and as always, please don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I put out a new video. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one.